Final Fantasy IX just got even better, and at that, it's gotten even easier and streamlined to do everything that we are about to do. We're going to further enhance your experience with this game, even more so than we did back in 2021 when we did that video talking about Final Fantasy IX mods. And since that time, it's been about 3 years now, because in addition to all of this, Moguri Mod has a new update. Version 9 further enhances the pre-rendered backgrounds and battle screens, improvements on the lighting, updating textures on monsters and NPCs, while reworking some of the cutscenes and giving us 120 frames per second gameplay now, which feels absolutely amazing. We're going to be revisiting this amazing game and blow your minds again with these new mods. First things first though, I'm going to give a major shout out to the Memoria Mod managing team. They have designed this program to completely streamline every element when it comes to installing mods for Final Fantasy IX, and you guys are going to love every second of it because it makes everything that we did back in 2021 not even a thing that you have to worry about anymore. Shout outs to all of the members here on screen that we're going to be scrolling by so you can see their names. They've all made significant contributions to this entire program and have just really outdid themselves to give the community that has been longing a long time for a Final Fantasy IX remake all of these awesome enhancements and details to really enjoy the game in a whole new way. If you're coming back to the game, if you played it when you were younger, this is like a whole brand new experience. And also if it's your first time playing Final Fantasy IX, you're being significantly impacted over there with all the quality of life changes. So shout outs to this team. They did a fantastic job, every single one of them. Greatly appreciate their work. So this GitHub page is the main place you're going to want to download this from, as it is the official source. It is when everything is updated. This is the one that is updated, guys. If you try to download it from the Moguri Mod page or like the Mods page, they don't have the latest updates immediately. Whenever this thing is updated, this is where you will get that official file. So I'm going to be posting this down below in the description for you guys to access the GitHub page. You'll see right now, as of right now recording this, the latest version is August 24th and it's been patched 4 times. Also, it's incredibly important to note this because I've been getting a lot of comments asking about this. This launcher is now installable on Steam Deck and Linux using this line console/terminal. You're going to basically copy and paste this where it's needed within your Steam Deck, because I get a lot of questions of people asking this, and now officially, yes, you can get these mods installed on your deck. So what you're going to want to do is scroll down and click on memoriapatcher.exe. It is going to download the file, and when that is done, the next thing you got to do is you got to make sure you have Final Fantasy IX on Steam, guys. The Steam version is the one that you're going to want to use, not the Captain Jack Sparrow version, because the Captain Jack Sparrow version can be missing some updates and some of these mods won't even work on them. So we're going to go to the Steam store page, and you'll see that actually as of right now, Final Fantasy IX is unfortunately $21, which is yeah, a lot of people are not going to want to spend that much. But trust me, our sponsor today has you all covered. Shout outs to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. Make sure you use our link. It's going to be in the description below. You guys can actually go there and get Final Fantasy IX for the Steam version for $7.85. It greatly helps out the channel a ton, and also will help you guys get a significant discount on your games. I've been using Instant Gaming for quite a while to purchase a bunch of games. I highly recommend them. You guys can find literally anything on here that you may be interested in playing on computer or other consoles and platforms at a much cheaper price. As soon as you add it to cart and you pay for the game, they actually take you to another page where you can unlock your key and immediately redeem it within Steam. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to take that key, you're going to go into Steam, you're going to go to games and activate a product on Steam, and inside of here you're going to paste that code, whichever code it is, and you'll be able to download it, and then you'll get Final Fantasy IX for not $21, but instead $8 basically. Now once that's done and you have Final Fantasy IX installed and ready to go, you're going to want to hit play on it once. You don't have to go into the game, just go into the main menu and then you can close it out there. This way Steam will get all of its files and stuff situated properly. So the next thing we're going to do is, once you did that, we're going to right click on Final Fantasy IX. We're going to go to Manage, Browse Local Files, and inside of here is your main source of all the files you're going to be needing. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to find that file that you just downloaded. Let's break it up right here. So we're going to go to Downloads, and you'll see inside of Downloads, I downloaded the Memoria Patcher. I'm going to drag that into here. And for me, it's going to say replace this file in the destination because I already have it in there. But you don't have to do that. It'll just like drag it in there for you guys. So once you do that, you're going to go in here and you're going to double click the Memoria Patcher, and it's going to, you're going to allow it to run through and install all of its files. And then once it's done, you can hit enter to exit. If you guys found this helpful, hit that subscribe button and notification bell to help raise that 38% even higher, and so that you don't miss out on any other modding videos. Up next, we got Final Fantasy X. We're going to be modding that up to make the remastered version on PC look way better. I'm talking PS2 better. Now that when you play Final Fantasy IX, it's going to bring up a separate window before you go into the game, and this is the Memoria launcher, the absolute game changer when it comes to all things Final Fantasy IX on PC. So you can go ahead and copy my settings if you want. I'm playing on a 4K monitor display, so I'm choosing 4K as my resolution and my aspect ratio. You could obviously switch to whatever it fits your needs. Just make sure you guys use whatever it is you want. And also click Fix Seam Overlay. When you do this, it's going to ask you to install a separate file, so this way you can still earn achievements while playing this. I highly recommend you do that. When you click on it, it's going to ask to install it. Just install it. But when you do that, it'll allow you to unlock achievements as you play the game. Other than that, little cheats and stuff that I have on. I have the 100% steal rate because stealing in this game can be kind of annoying. And if trance is one of the best things they've ever implemented in any game ever. So what it basically does is it makes it so that when your character reaches the ability to trance, it doesn't automatically put them into it. It shows it in the menu on the bottom right that, hey, if you want, you can click on this to go into trance, letting you save it for harder fights later on. Because by default, Final Fantasy IX, it immediately puts the characters into trance, and this can be annoying, especially if you're fighting lower level enemies, and before you get into a boss fight, you don't really have access to your trance at your own will, and still use different attacks and not be forced into using it. Breaking a damage limit is pretty fun. It allows you to hit over 12,000, 15,000. Go ahead, have fun with this. There's also menus in the battles, which I haven't messed around with, but this seems to be a very good quality of life thing where you can actually access the menu while playing the game. Speed mode is if you want to have the quality of life faster, say you're battling enemies and you're just grinding levels, you could turn on speed mode, and then you could toggle it on and off with your keyboard. You could use F4 to toggle it on or off, and what it'll basically do is it'll speed up your game to ×3 or even faster if you want. You can make it even faster, so that it just makes grinding so much easier. Battle speed, up to you guys entirely what you want to do with that. F4 is for random battles. If you have this enabled, that's going to make it so that if you press F4, it'll tell you on the bottom right of the screen that you'll not get into any battles. You have that active, so you don't have to have that active. That's great. All sorts of other stuff too. Then you have the 30 FPS Moguri Mod videos, which I think it looks fantastic on any of the cutscenes that show up in the game. Instead of being 15 frames, it'll be 30 frames. It looks a lot better. Widescreen, I highly recommend it, because what Moguri Mod, which is what we're going to be installing in a little bit, does is it fine-tunes and makes it so that all of the quality of the pre-rendered backgrounds have been extended and fully enhanced using AI and also by the hand. So overall, I can't recommend this enough. It's going to make Final Fantasy IX look way different than what you guys remember, and it's not going to stretch the screen, which is the best part about this. It further enhanced the 4:3 that the game was built upon and turns it into a true 16:9 without impacting any of the artistic quality of the game. There are going to be some moments in the game that are stuck in 4:3, and that's fine. There's just nothing that you can really do about that, just the way that the game has been developed. And then we also have anti-aliasing, and now the game actually has 120 frames. Before it was 60 frames was the new thing, but now you can actually put it up to 120 frames, and it looks really good. I highly recommend you guys try this out. And of course, completely optional, up to you, depending on what it is you want to do. You don't have to do them. Skip intros to the main menu makes the game boot up a lot faster. Skip the battle swirl if you want to just jump straight into the battle without the crazy camera zooms, because Final Fantasy IX does go a little ham with that. And then if you want the PlayStation bubbles, by all means, go for that. But the coolest thing about this, I think, is the card game element. So some people that are very big on Triple Triad, and there's some people that are very big on Tetramaster. If for whatever reason you want to, this is completely optional, you could actually change it so that the game, instead of using Tetramaster, will use Triple Triad rules. It's pretty awesome to see that. And then they have Tetra Triad, which I think is going to be a combination of the two. I haven't tried it out yet, but that seems like a really cool thing that you guys might want to check out. So pick whatever one that you want and enjoy the game however you guys want. And then up next, I'm going to go into the advanced settings, and this is completely optional as well, but I really like these custom shaders. This isn't a mod. This is included with the Memoria launcher. You don't have to install anything here. So by default, on the top left, the normal look of the game, but you can add outlines to the characters, and you can make them either realistic, more 3D-ish, or like toon. Personally, I like the look of the toon and the model outlines combined together, but you could do just the model outlines if you want, or you could just do the other. You could fully customize this and play it however you guys want. This is what it looks like in the battle. See, the realism gives it a different look as far as like the shading goes on the shadows to kind of make the character stand out a little bit more differently. Then you have a model viewer, which will boot up a separate thing within Steam to show you what each individual model will look like. You don't have to do that. Just, you know, turn this on and off and choose whichever one it is you want. Now for the big part right here, the mod manager. So it's very, very easy to use, guys. So right here, the install mods, this is all of what I have installed. I'm currently using 6 mods, but you could totally go ahead and browse the catalog. And by browsing the catalog, this is all the mods that are currently available for Final Fantasy 9. I can't recommend enough that you guys check out the Moguri mod, the 30 FPS videos. The best one, in my opinion, is the Beatrix mod, because it completely changes a significant element in the game where you can finally get Beatrix in the party as a permanent party member in Disc 3. I believe in the beginning of Disc 3, you could actually go ahead and recruit her by going back to Alexandria and talking with her and getting her to join the party. And they gave her her own dialogue. She chimes in a lot in the story later on, and her abilities are just so godlike. Honestly, she reminds me of Orlando in Final Fantasy Tactics. She's broken. She's so good though. There's also the alternate fantasy mod, which is kind of like in the same vein of a new threat for Final Fantasy 7, where it makes the game a little bit more difficult and introduces new elements to it, so that if you are a Final Fantasy 9 enthusiast, you could actually get a new experience with this. And it does come with the Beatrix mod. It's just that they split up the mods, right? Alternate Fantasy usually comes with the Beatrix mod and Transseek, but they actually split up the 3 of them to be individual, so to give people options on what it is they might want to try out. But I highly recommend it if it's your second playthrough of Final Fantasy 9 or your multiple playthrough right now and you want to have a different experience. Try out alternate fantasy. I think you guys will really enjoy what it has to offer. There's other cool things like the playable character pack, which allow you to put Kuja in the party and stuff, like Lani as well. It's really interesting, these mods that do exist. And there's all kinds of other ones. By all means, pick and choose whichever one it is that you guys want. I chose the DualSense buttons because I use a PS5 controller. High-res chocograph so you can see a little bit better, and tweak portraits just to make them look a little bit, just to make them pop a little bit more. And I do see Triple Triad is here, but I don't think you need to install this anymore since it's already included within the game right here. After you download and install your mods, right here on the left, installed mods, you're going to want to make sure that the order is set up a little bit better. It's been working flawlessly for me, so I'm just going to let you guys do this and customize your game in this way. I put Moguri mod at the top, 30 FPS at the second spot, Beatrix mod at the third, and then I don't think the other 3 actually matter. If you do have alternate fantasy installed, you're going to want to make sure that that mod is at the top of the files from what I gather, because it changes up a lot of elements within the game, and you're going to want to make sure that thing loads in so this way it doesn't unnecessarily impact the way that the game is supposed to flow. Also, if you do run into any issues, I highly recommend you go to this issue thread. I'm going to be linking all of this down below in the description. Of course, this GitHub page will have all kinds of fixes and is the ultimate place where if you run into a bug with the mod in any way, with any of these mods and the programs itself, this is where you can go to find the solutions and also introduce new threads, so this way people can actually help you and assist you resolve your problems whatsoever. And major shout outs to our friends over at Sunomods. They're actually doing the Echo S9 voices right now, guys. The demo is out currently and you could actually play it and download it directly from their site. I'm gonna be posting it down below in the description. For those that remember Final Fantasy 7, they actually did all the voices for that game. They're currently working on Final Fantasy 9 right now, and there's a demo out so you guys can enjoy the voices. It's been downloaded, dang, almost 12,000 times now. Shout outs to them. So in order to get it, you're gonna want to click download Echo S9 and let it run through. It's about 500 megabytes for the demo voices, so we're gonna let it run through in a little bit. However, the main thing when installing this mod, guys, you unfortunately cannot have this mod and the alternate fantasy mod active at the same time. They use the same files. Gameplay is completely different. The voice dialogue will be changed up as well. There's going to be new elements completely introduced to the game. You just cannot use alternate fantasy with the Echo S9 mods, unfortunately. So you have to pick either one, guys. It's the same thing with Final Fantasy 7 with new threat and the Echo S7 voices. So now that the Echo S9 demo voices have actually finished downloading, what we're going to want to do is we're going to double click on the file. I'm going to be using WinRAR to unzip this, but you can use 7-zip or whichever it is that your preferred platform is. You can use the default Windows one if you want as well. We're going to see this folder that says Echo S9, and we're going to take it and we're going to drag it into our base folder of Final Fantasy 9 within Steam that we still had open in the background, and you'll see that it's going to compile all the files and drop it right here next to our other mods. And as you guys can see, On top, we got the Beatrix mod, DualSense, EchoS voices everything is here. All the mods that we're essentially using, right? So now we're gonna open back up Final Fantasy IX. You'll see within the mod manager, EchoS 9 is there. It'll be unchecked for you, but you guys can check it off right there, and it says like it is a voice acting mod, and I believe it runs best if you have it at the top. And now you can enjoy Final Fantasy IX, the demo version of voices if you guys want to. Again, major shout out to the Memoria team for putting this all together. Super night and day difference. Way easier to get these mods installed rather than having to drag the individual files into mod folders and then pray that you configure them properly. They actually have a manager that just lets you install them from the catalog and then have them running and good to go. All you got to do is click play, and then the game is running smooth as butter after that. Major shout outs to Instant Gaming as well for sponsoring this video. You guys can go get Final Fantasy IX and a bunch of other games there at significantly discounted prices compared to buying them on Steam. Please be sure to comment down below if you guys run into any problems. I'll be happy to help you guys out further. And of course, check out the GitHub page if there are any bugs you may come across, so that you can help the dev team further fix them. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy videos are on the way and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.